All right, let's start this opening, people. Welcome to the stream, and let's have some fun with the show.
This is Crimson 660. Thank you for watching my video. Also, you can catch me on these social media platforms. And if you want to see some great art, hit my DeviantArt art page up. And finally, support my Patreon. Thanks.
All right, people. All right. So, as you guys can hear, I am, well, quite frankly, it's the summertime and motherfuckers are mowing their fucking, the apartment complex is actually mowing the grass and shit. And I want to thank you guys, whoever's watching. Yay, I am a little bit more on time this today. Hopefully I can get a friend over, somebody I haven't seen in a while, and we can actually do some gaming. Other than that, I was going to dissect a video. So yeah. Give me a second, guys. Just making sure everything is working right. In a while, and we can actually do some gaming. All right, so yeah, we are good. We are good here. Not the one that I wanted. Let's actually pull that one up. Shout out to people who watch my little videos. All right, so we're actually doing a little bit of gaming while I wait for my friend to get here. And while we do that gaming, what are we going to play today? Of course, as always, we do a little smite. And while we're doing the gaming, sorry, I was playing Gems of War. Got to get my daily bonus. While we're doing that gaming, let's go ahead and pull that up. So I can actually see the chat. And we're actually going to watch the thing. And this is one of the reasons why I brought it up. Because okay. So shout out to people who actually watch my channel and enjoy it. I do appreciate those people watching my channel, giving me giving me feedback and commentary on like the videos that I do. Now, come on, just a little bit more. Now, the thing about it is, fuck it, let's start this shit up first. Then we can actually get to it. Daily bonus. And so, this is just, oh, shit is about to start. Cool. So, one of the things as a small YouTuber that you do, that kind of like makes you seem like you're, I guess, part of the conversation, or at least are entertaining to actually see people's whose channels I watch that may have a bigger following than me for whatever reasons why they do YouTube. I won't knock anybody's reason for doing YouTube as long as that they are genuine. And it's like, wow, they're having conversations that I wish to someday to have, which is actually pretty cool. But one of the things that happens is a parasocial relationship. By watching somebody, by enjoying somebody's content, you feel that you know those persons, those people, whatever the fuck. And some people take this too far. Yes, I'm not saying that you can't meet and actually be friends with somebody that you've met online, or you know, watch their YouTube videos and you meet in person. I'm not saying that specifically. What I am saying is that there are some people that take it too far. And part of it is, well, it has to do with identity. It has to do with the identity we cultivate. Now, how I choose to act around my family, how I choose to act at work, how I choose to act with my friends, how I choose to act with a significant other is a lot different of a conversation or a lot different of a interaction that I would have online. Am I false with the acting? And hold on, guys, this is gonna really bug me. Hold on. Am I false in the way I act? No, I'm not gonna say that at all. But are there different aspects that, say, people on Facebook may see of me, you guys may see of me? Are there different aspects to my personality? Why, yes, because we all cultivate our identity around what we want to perceive. And in this day and age, what a lot of capitalists do is try to cultivate our identity around a specific brand, or, you know, a specific. They want you to pledge fealty to something, and quite frankly, guys, a lot of people are falling for it. I watched this. Hold on. I watched this video a while ago, and I thought it was pretty important because I personally never want to get caught up in the cult of personality of a specific YouTube. Like, look what happened with Non-Sec. A lot of people are caught up so much in the cult of personality that they can't see some of the shit and bad shit that was happening. It's been a lot of things. That new guy looks awesome, but let's continue. Oh, by the way, Peter Coffin. Let's go.
Who are you? I know who I am. I'm a 33-year-old Star Wars fan. Here's my lightsaber. See those effects? Ooh, right? Cool. You don't think this is cool? What? What is wrong with you? What is your problem? What do you have against just having fun? Why do you hate a community of people who just love something? Actually, you know what? What's your mailing address?
All right. Now, of course, he's being hyperbolic with this. And quite frankly, not too much hyperbolic. There are people who, build their identity around what they're like. Ironic, because I'm playing PlayStation. You get the Sony ponies and the Xbox. Oh my god. Like, for real? For real. Instead of being a gamer that enjoys games, I'm a Bethesda fan. That means you like shit. Or I'm this company. I like electronic arts. I fucking lie. Nobody likes electronic arts. You get a lot of people actually going and pledging fealty to a specific group because that's who they made it the part of their identity. So much so that some people, well, let's just say they do dastardly and evil shit because you offended their identity. But let's continue.
Gamers, white feminists, anti-vaxxers, militant vegans, carnitarians, and yes, even Star Wars fans. What is that a list of? Well, they're things you can identify as. And if
Alright, so let's let this go.
If you're buying what capitalism is selling,
And let's be clear, many of us have.
that makes them an identity. There's an overlapping of science and marketing called market research. Market research is the study of the consumer.
That's us.
It's an ongoing work in an attempt to understand what the consumer wants, and what they may want in order to fulfill a demand that already exists or create a new one. That list of things that somebody might identify as earlier is a
Alright, so just think about that. They literally are doing research that can be used to cure some of the deadly diseases. Research that can be used to create more antibacterial, more resistance more effective antibacterial shit. More shit that helps you prevent resistant strains of bacteria. Whatever that fuck that is. I get my ass kicked. But they're doing research to try to make you pledge loyalty to a particular product or brand. Let's continue.
list of consumer identities.
Whoa. Hey, are you about to criticize me? Is probably what you're about to say right now. I get that. Just unclench your butthole. I'm not coming for you specifically. Just coming for your childhood. That's a joke. Basically a joke.
Consumer culture is a carefully curated set of social norms with an agenda: profit. It's easier to profit, either monetarily or socially, when people's culture and identity does not conflict with profit.
And just who do you think is pre-ordering more stuff? Is it anti-fascists or is it gamers? I'll give you a hint. Richard Spencer getting punched was not DLC.
But if consumption can be the center of an identity, why?
Alright, so, and we just hear exactly what the reason why that this is being done. It's for profit. Not because they value their fans. No, they value their fans' money. And to be honest with you, this is what capitalism leads to. Capitalism leads to you buying a fucking game that hasn't even came out yet on the hopes that it'll be good. The hopes. The fucking hopes. The fucking hopes and prayers. And thoughts and prayers. Because reasons. Let's continue.
I wait for it to just happen. Why not encourage it? Why not look at identity as a resource, as a commodity, like a crop? A crop is defined as a cultivated plant grown as food. Eating food is a fairly common activity, and such a thing is meant to be capitalized on in our current economic system. Crops are a resource and are grown for profit. We call this cultivating the land.
And if you ask me, I think that a better term for consumer identity is cultivated identity.
Cultivation of identity is using marketing and other environmental control to center a person's identity around a consumable. By consumable, I mean a product, a TV show, a franchise, a point of view, a personality, whatever. The eventual goal is to nurture dependence, to push people to consume more, as well as create a subset of hyper-consumers that will reliably purchase, advocate for, or simply loudly discuss the consumable publicly.
Alright, so let's just go ahead and have that conversation. A lot of these people, a lot of companies actually try to build up your stock in wanting a particular brand. They do. They want you to like say, whoa, I'm a Star Wars fan. And this is pure. That and this is pure. And this is a true direction of the artist or the creator or the writer or any of these things. You know, it's funny. I was having a discussion with people about, inconsequential thing to not important thing. Fucking hot. I can't turn on the AC. So yeah, inconsequential issue. Like Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. And I find it funny that a lot of people actually state who they are based on how much they know or what's canon and what's not canon. And it's alarming. It's really alarming that brands have actually, and not to say they're bad products, but some brands have actually just enticed people to pledge loyalty and fealty to specific brands, all in the service of fucking profit. And that's just alarming, to say the least. But let's continue.
Ideally, from an uncritical viewpoint. Remember that attention is currency in the marketplace of ideas, and the hyper-consumer's attention is infinite. Now, an identity that is not the result of cultivation by capital, one might call an organic identity. However, there's consumptive behavior in almost all modern identities. It's probably unlikely that any identity exists that is specifically organic or specifically cultivated. Organic and cultivated are much more likely to be opposite ends of a spectrum that everyone's identity exists on somewhere. The issue is not singularly consumption. The issue is that capital uses identity to encourage consumption. And I just want that to be clear before we move forward on anything, because
Otherwise, you might take this as criticism of people consuming things, and it is not that.
Alright, so just to come back to it. So, just as I was saying before, there are certain aspects of our identity that come natural from just our experiences with life, our experiences with... Fuck you. I'm sorry, I got pissed off there for a second. And some of those things come natural. Some of those things are just our experiences with life. For instance, I like RPGs because I like to have fucking fun playing a role in a game. Hence the term RPG. But for a while, and I actually recognize this, for a while, that identity was JRPG. And simply put, because I felt they had some of the best RPGs around. Notably Square, when it was more than just what's the new engine. And it didn't make me a bad person that I identified as a Square Soft or Square Enix fan. But I had to separate myself when they start doing stupid shit for gaming. But let's continue.
consumption is pretty much an unavoidable behavior. You need food. You need water. To take in these things is to consume them. And what would life be without a little entertainment? Certainly, that consumption is not evil. And I think a lot of people make the mistake of criticizing individuals for consumption. In fact, the popular meme about this is there is no ethical consumption under capitalism. But I think it would be beneficial if we started wording that a little bit differently. Specifically, that there are no ethical consumables under capitalism. I think we need to stop putting the impetus on the consumer or the customer and start putting it on capital.
With that in mind,
All right, so let's just continue. What bothers me, one of the things that super bothers me is that you get so many people that want to blame the victim of a system because you should know better. You should know better. You should know better to do this. You should know better to do that. I was actually watching a video before I started of how you get so many people that want to blame people for making poor life choices, but yet and still, wow, this game is going completely low res. But yet and still, you get people that are victims to the system. And quite frankly, we have to change the fucking system. Then we can start blaming people. But let's continue.
let's talk about fandom.
The word fan came into usage in the late 19th century and is an abbreviation for fanatic. A basic definition for fanatic is a person filled with excessive and single-minded zeal, especially for an extreme religious or political cause. Someone saying the word fan in our more everyday lives now would mean something more casual though. Most people who say fan don't mean obsessive, but we oftentimes see people who identify as a fan
Acting like this? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god.
Being a fan of someone or something might seem like something you very casually do in today's society. It doesn't matter if we're talking about Star Wars or the Republican Party. In fact, I mentioned both of those because you need to understand this is not about something specific. Everything has fandom, no matter what it is. Entertainment, political parties, religions, activities, other people, both in your life and simply famous, or...
Alright, I love these running down the list. Now, here's the thing. I want to actually... I want to say this. When you actually get a lot of people where they are fans of somebody, that's the reason why I brought it up for parasocial relationships. Surprising, I know. But when you get this parasocial relationship where thank you. There we go. When you get this parasocial relationship, it's because you're a fan and you want to actually be not necessarily associated with that person, but you enjoy that person and in what way they bring you enjoyment. But let's continue.
Around, omnipresent, and when we talk about this, we aren't talking about just liking something. If we were talking about just liking something, we wouldn't be talking about capital using your enjoyment of something, pushing you to go further with it, in service of their ability to generate profit. In cultivating identity in fans, capital is annexing at least part of your identity, that is, taking ownership of it, in an effort to extract value. In effect, it acts as coercion demanding unconscious surrendering of one's identity to capital in exchange for a place to belong, where one might not find friendship and acceptance at school, at the office, or other activities. One might find it among knights in medieval castles, pirate ships, or beyond the stars. Community can be defined as fellow.
Alright, before we get into the community, and this is one of the things that I rail against when I see, for example, I'm an agnostic in the non-believer camp, and it feels good to have a community. Before the internet, before YouTube, before these discussions, if you had doubt about the faith, you kept it to yourself. But now you can actually be part of something, and it feels fucking good. It fucking feels good. I hope to one day have a community, a fandom. No, I don't even want a fandom. I just want to have a conversation with people that want to have a conversation back with me, either on this platform or the platforms that I stream on. That's what I want. To have a fan, no, that shit dead, dog. I do not want a fan. I want admirers of my work, but some of the things and the just cultivated desires that a lot of people actually are cultivated to actually invest in, it's not good. It's not. And if you want to actually, one of the things that I also rail against is becoming a part of the community based on what I don't like. I think that's one of the things that really kind of irks me when you get together and see people band together because they hate feminism or they hate this or they hate that. Those communities never really stand the test of time. Well, look at non-sec. What happened with that? That's only been a year. But let's continue.
Fellowship with others due to sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals, as well as a group with similarity of identity. Fandom can act and feel a lot like community. But if identity is created for or co-opted by the interests of capital, what is the purpose of this community? Well, having a lot of people around you that specifically like the thing that you like, that just as you all also consume it, and given we're socialized to view things as hierarchies that we're to compete to get to the top of, a fandom-based community becomes a platform for competitive consumption. Marketing that asks us to...
Alright, so I'm not going to say it's natural to have a hierarchy where one person is at the top and all others are beneath. But this we kind of have been socialized to believe that we need to be at the top or have to be the very best, like no one ever was. And quite frankly, it's a little sad that people go so far to try to associate people's identity with so much in order to make a fucking profit. For real, guys. Fuck capitalism.
To integrate a consumable into our identity is not asking us to consume in a healthy way. In fact, that the ultimate goal is profit, the goal regarding your identity is to get you to consume as much as possible. Whether or not it is meant to, I don't know, but this exploits the vulnerable and the naive. In exchange for identity and community, we're asked to pledge fealty and opt into a sub-economy based entirely around a thing that we consume. This is in effect a reality for us to exist inside. And inside this reality, there's a version of everything just for us. What I mean by that...
Alright, so here's the thing. If you ever watch, like, people that have... if you ever watched a fandom that specifically don't like a change that has been made, and they say, what about the fans? You're disrespecting the fans. And that's just it. If somebody wants to go a specific way with their artistic creation, that's their creation. But you have so many fandoms They get upset about changes in specific things. Thor can't be a woman. Captain America can't be African American. This and that, and it's just like, is your identity so wrapped up in this one thing that it's an assault to who you are, your childhood, or your precious memories, that they decided to do a little bit of a change. But let's continue.
Is there a Star Wars brand chopped lettuce? Chopped lettuce. Now, the level of commitment you would need to feel excited about branded lettuce with Rey on the fucking bag.
Well, let's just put it this way. That's no moon. It's a space station.
And if you've gotten to the point of excitement over chopped lettuce, then criticism would have to feel excruciatingly personal. If somebody said that Star Wars...
So, like, and I see this a lot with religious people, and I think this was part of the conversation that I asked Jill. Like, why does it have to be? Why do you have to be a Christian? Why does that have to be it? And it's just I can't do it. It's just so much disbelief that people have so much of this being their identity that if someone criticizes it, it's a personal attack. And I just can't get it. And I know I'm not normal, and like, yeah, I get I'm not normal, but you are so in rapture, you're making something as part of your identity that you would literally get upset for criticism. And seeing this example again is probably one of the reasons why, like, there are people that get, like, I like Spider-Man, especially the more recent Spider-Man movies, but I'm not gonna get my penis didn't get hard because there was a Spider-Man branded Dorito bag. It got hard because it was the fucking Doritos Cool Ranch, but not because who was on the bag. But let's continue.
Wars brand lettuce is fucking dumb, but you had accepted Star Wars to the point where you thought it was pretty goddamn cool that the lettuce has been graced with the presence of Kylo Ren. You must be the real fan. Now, this is done in less stark terms as well. Kids on the playground argue over how much merch they have. I have all the Power Rangers figures. Do you? No. Must not be a real fan. And thus, competitive consumption is unleashed to create the hierarchy of the real fan. You might have all the merch, the action figures. You may have gotten all the achievements in the game. Fandom becomes